And hi, Jordy, if you're listening. And she gave me permission to tell this story today, which I couldn't wait to share with you and with everybody because it was such an interesting way of passing that I had never heard before. But when her beloved son did pass away, it was a few years ago, a month after he passed, she was sitting in a deep meditation and he came to her and he said, I'm going to show you how I passed. Would you like to have the experience? And she said, yes, I would. And he said, okay. And she said, first, this beautiful green crystal light of healing came through, like a tunnel of green healing. The color of green, she said, I've never experienced before. It was like reflecting of crystals. And she said, I knew immediately that there was no time here when I was in this tunnel. She said, I knew there was only beginnings. And she said there was no fear and it felt so good. And then she said, it my son described it to me as, when you have packing and you have those little pops when you're packing a package and you've got those little pops of
Sure.
plastic, kind of like. She said he explained to her that when he passed, it was he could feel the pack of his soul unpacking to leave his body.
Like that bubble
The
popping.
bubble popping, and then his soul was released. Never heard that before.
And I haven't either. And there is actually some people have described like a popping sound too, by the way. That's been known that healthcare workers have heard sometimes popping when someone leaves the body. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Isn't that something?
It really is. It really is. Again, it's a part of life, and we've done it many, many
Mhm.
times. I was looking for some books that I was researching for tonight, and I came across this wonderful book called The Zen of Living and Dying.
Ooh,
Yes, I've had this for years.
a practical and spiritual guide. Wow.
It's very, very good. And I just wanted to read a little bit about embracing your death, if I might. So reflect on the words of a Zen master. Your mind essence is not subject to birth or death. It is neither being nor nothingness, neither emptiness nor form and color, nor is it something that feels pain or joy. However, much you try to know with your rational mind that which is now sick, you cannot. Yet, if you think of nothing, wish for nothing, want, understand nothing, cling to nothing, and only ask yourself, what is the true substance of the mind of this one who is now suffering? And ending your days like clouds fading in the sky, you'll eventually be freed of your painful bondage to endless change. So it's imagine yourself then fading away slowly, very slowly, until you remember less and less, and allow a peaceful, relaxed feeling to take over, not in a hurry, but slowly.
Oh, I love that. Sounds relaxing.
Yeah, and I was
Sign
thinking
me up.
we have to do a show about preparing to die, right? We got to do a show about that.
Right.
Really good.
About preparing, absolutely.
I,
Um,
I
it,
remember a story, if I may share, Cal. It's Debbie Ford when she passed over.
oh, you got to share this one. This is
It's a
a
great.
beauty. This
I put the
unbelievable.
photo. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. About a year and a half before she passed, we did an event in New York together. And she asked me, said, James, can I talk to you? I said, yes. I went to her room. And she said, would you help me pass over when it's my time? Would you help me, please, if I have problems? I said, of course, Deb, of course. Wherever I am, I will help you. Long story short, she was in San Diego and I was in, I don't know where, somewhere else in California. And she was ready to pass. And her sister said she probably has 48 hours. Debbie was very stubborn. She made it 72 hours, right? But around 4:15 in the afternoon, 3 days later, I was in my office and I felt her strong. And I felt her suffering, and I tuned into her in a meditative state. And I said, Deb, stop, stop. She goes, I'm afraid, Jane. I'm afraid. I said, you've done to be afraid of. She goes, I don't understand this. It's like having a new car, but wait, having keys to a new car, but I don't know how to drive.
Oh,
And I said, Deb, just relax, just relax. And I picked up her father was there and a friend who had died of AIDS in Miami was there. And her sister later said, yes, that's someone she knew. And it was really interesting, Debbie. And I remember the spirit just getting this. I said, make yourself a feather. Just be your feather, just light, just relax and inhale, breathe, inhalation, slowly, and exhalation. And like a feather, lifting up, then going down, lifting up, going down. And she says, will that help? I said, yes. And go towards like if there's a light, go towards it. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Go to Oz and enjoy yourself. It's gonna be great. I'm scared. You have nothing to be scared. They're all there, and it's natural. It's light. So she said, "Okay, James, I love you." I said, "I love you too." Probably an hour later, I go into the house and I'm sitting with watching television. I think news at 6 o'clock, and I felt freezing cold, feeling freezing cold, glacier type cold. And I said, "Oh, Debbie's just passed." And my partner Brian came in the room and he said, told double Virgos of me. He said, "Do you have a door open?" I said, "No, Debbie Ford just passed." He goes, "No, you have a door open." So of course, I like on. And he goes into the living room and checks. And he goes, "Wait, isn't a door?" "Oh, Debbie, we love you, Debbie." The phone rings and it was Debbie's sister. And she said, "Deb just passed."
Wow.
So
Wow.
sometimes people need encouragement to pass over.
Yes.
They're afraid, like your mom, or like
Mhm.
my dad. My dad was really, it was interesting on his deathbed. It was so funny. All the siblings were there, and we all said our goodbyes, and he wouldn't leave. And I saw his spirit right here hanging out above his head. I was very aware of it. He didn't believe in what I did, by the way. He never believed, he didn't know about my life, my work. He knew about it. He watched me on television and so forth, but he didn't believe in it. So there you go.
Mm.
So I said, "Dad, why are you hanging out?" I'm speaking to him telepathically. And he said, "I just don't want your kids fighting over the house." And his house was everything to him.
Oh,
And as soon as we agreed not to fight over the house, he left. He left. And he came back within, I would say, gosh, 5 minutes. He said, "You got it right. You're right. I'm alive. I'm alive. You're right. I met your mother. I'm 27 years old. I had a brown suit. I met a sister I didn't know I had," which found out he did have, And for 3 days I was doing automatic writing with them. But
wow.
amazing.
Wow.